Most people think this is a story about forgiveness. It's not. This is the most misunderstood story Jesus ever told, because the real problem wasn't the son who left. It was the one who stayed. When Jesus told this story, everyone thought they already understood it. A bad son leaves. A loving father forgives. The end. But Jesus wasn't speaking to broken people that day. He was speaking to religious people. And he told this story to expose something uncomfortable, something many believers still struggle with today. Jesus begins with a family, a father and two sons. The younger son asks for his inheritance early. In that culture, this was more than rude. It was cruel. It was like saying, "I wish you were dead." The father says nothing. He gives the son what he asks for, and the son leaves. He wastes everything: money, opportunities, dignity. Eventually, he hits bottom, hungry, ashamed, alone. He rehearses a speech, not asking to be restored, but to be tolerated. When he returns, the father runs to him, not walks, runs. Before the son can finish his apology, the father restores him. Robe, ring, celebration. This is where most people stop listening, but Jesus didn't, because then he shifts the spotlight to the older son. The older son hears music, laughter, joy, and instead of relief, he feels anger. He refuses to enter. The father goes out to him. This is important. The father leaves the celebration for the son who never left. The older son says, "I obeyed, I stayed, I worked, and you never celebrated me." This is the heart of the story. The older son didn't want his brother punished. He wanted to be rewarded. He believed obedience earned love, and grace felt unfair. This parable is not mainly about rebellion, it's about resentment. The younger son was lost in obvious ways. The older son was lost in respectable ones. One ran from the father, the other lived with him, but never truly knew his heart. Jesus was warning people who followed rules, but missed compassion. People who stayed close to God, but far from grace. The tragedy of the story? We never find out if the older son enters the celebration. Jesus ends the story there, because the listeners were the older son. Some of you watching have never run away from God. You stayed, you served, you obeyed, but quietly you feel overlooked. You struggle to celebrate when grace is given freely to someone who messed up publicly. This story asks a hard question. Do you want God's presence or God's rewards? Because the older son had access to everything, but lived like a servant. The father says something heartbreaking. "Everything I have was already yours." The older son didn't lack blessing. He lacked understanding. He lived as if love had to be earned, even in his own home. This is the danger Jesus was pointing to. Not sin, but self-righteousness. This story is not about choosing between being good or bad. It's about learning how to live as a child, not a servant. God is inviting everyone in, the rebellious and the faithful. The question is not whether grace is fair. The question is whether you'll accept it. If this story changed how you see Jesus, subscribe for more Bible stories told with depth, honesty, and truth. The celebration is open. Will you enter?